Well, that's all from our video sharings, and I hope you have enjoyed it. So, well, we still have people to come in. Wait for a while. And thank you for your patience. Hi, good morning to everyone. Good morning. Oops. Good morning to everyone to our e-conference on environmental auditing, ISO 19011 and life cycle assessments on products. I hope everyone's already had your breakfast just now. Before we start the days, I would like to inform everyone in the room that this conference will be recorded for our reporting purpose. So, shall there be any inconvenience causes, please let us know. Now, let's begin with our check-in questions. I would like to ask all of you to open the chat box and click into the Slido links that my team shared to you. So hurry up, hurry up. Oops. Have you clicked into the link? Oh, you can just scan into this code. Can you see my screen? You can just scan into this code, or you can click into, you can join at slido.com by clicking into the code 92099. Yep, we shall have a more checking questions for this morning. Come on, hurry up. So let me know. Tell me your favorite food. What is it? Okay, I saw asam pedas ayam. I saw cake. Anyone share the same flavor as me? I quite like chicken. Yeah, chicken become the bigger one. Come on, the rest. Okay, banana, nasi kerabu. Nice, nasi kerabu. Sushi. But chicken still the biggest one. Come on, 12. We have pizza. I like pizza. K-fried. Wow, K-fried. Yummy. Chocolate. Satay. Wow. Huge sausage. Who else? Come on. Wow, lamb grills. How long I didn't go dine in outside. Fried rice. Is it a common taste for Malaysians? I guess so. What else? Come on. We have 22. Let's beat up to 30. Come on. 26 now. We have, okay, still fried rice, nasi lemak, and chickens are the biggest one. Come on. Let's get up to 30. 12. 27. Oh, Apollo. Wow. Okay. Cake become the 4th biggest chunk in here. 2 more. Come on. We shall start it. We shall end this checking question soon. Anyone else? Okay. So end of the day, we have 4 winners of the day. We have fried rice. Most of you share the same taste here. Nasi lemak, chicken, and cake. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining the checking questions. So that's it. Now we are heading to the main agendas of our e-conference. Before we start sharing our video, let me ask you a few questions. Of course, you might not be able to answer me now, but I hope you can get the answer from our video later on. So what is environmental auditing actually? I bet most of you never heard of this term before. And what is the importance of having this kind of auditing? How this help in ensuring the competence of the auditing process as well as the auditor. Without further ado, I would like to ask our techie guy, Eugene, to share you all our first video on environmental auditing. Please enjoy it.
Thank you. Thanks for taking me over here. Okay, let me share it. Welcome to today's environmental auditing agenda. With respect to all audience, I'm very pleasant to introduce you our topic, environmental auditing. Literally, auditing means calculating, examining, and quantifying the magnitude of certain factors. No wondering that you may come up with burdensome works. However, these works are more interesting than it sounds. We can use it as an environmental management tool for measuring the effects of certain activities on the environment. On top of that, environmental auditing is also a valuable instrument to verify and improve environmental performance. With the presence of environmental auditing, we can do a lot of work, such as checking the compliance, predicting adverse impact, and monitoring programs. For example, what we see about a building is growing up from the horizon to a multi-story object, while what we do not see is how many adverse impacts have been put in place and how we can carry out a plan to mitigate that. as massive responsibility and benefit are often involved in the auditing work. Likewise, it is required to adopt an independent auditing to ensure proper implementation, as same as ordinary auditing principle does. So, since when we began doing environmental a favor by making use of environmental auditing, it's necessary to refer to the journey of evolution of environmental auditing. Environmental auditing first came up on the show in the US in early 1970s, when a handful of industrial companies developed environmental auditing program as internal tools to help review and evaluate the status of the company's operating units. It enabled managers to check compliance with local environmental laws and regulations, national laws and regulations, and corporate policies. Since 1979, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) issued a draft report calling for independent certified third-party auditor to perform such work. Environmental auditing became an official requirement and received considerable attention since then. In the late 1980s, environmental auditing was widely accepted by the industry as a general management tool in developed countries, and it was increasingly adopted by developing countries and foreign industries abroad. By the end of the 1980s, governments in many countries expanded their environmental activities through their commitments to the International Environmental Agreement (IEA) and the improvement of environmental departments, institutions, laws, and regulations. In the end of the 20th century, seeking the mode of sustainable development was integrated into the continuous improvement on technology and trade. Overall, increasing number of communities believe that global environmental programs require international cooperation. Entire time access of environmental auditing history is available. In 1990, issues regarding sustainable development went rampant. In 1991, raised awareness of sustainable development and more effective monitoring. 1992, Agenda 21 is a product of the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro. ISO 14000 series for environmental management systems and ISO 40001 certification is widely used around the world in 1996. In 2000, the International Organization for Social Responsibility developed the SA 8000 standard. Above all the content, what does actually environmental auditing contribute to the auditing work? Before the announcement of ISO 19011, our auditors met plenty of issues. Low efficiency occurred all the time because duplication and repetition of effort when conducting combined environmental or quality audit. Invalid auditing report could stem from inconsistent format containing irrelevant information. Auditing confusion resulted from the weak goals of environment and quality audit program, and the uncertainty facing both audit team and client always brought instability on the audit report. Have all the information sparked your bit of interest in environmental auditing so far? If do so, we would like to invite you to follow our coming episodes, which consist of general information, audit program and activities, competence, and evaluation of auditors of ISO 19011. Thank you very much.
Well. You have been introduced to what is environmental auditing. Environmental auditing is an environmental management tool for measuring the effect of certain activities on the environment, and it is a valuable instrument to verify the environmental performance. It's used to examine the compliance with the environmental regulations, to predict the impacts on environment, and to monitor audit programs accordingly. Now, what about the scope that covered under the umbrella of environmental auditing? Is there any code of conduct for a proper environmental auditing program? Let's find out more in the coming video.
Greetings to all dear audience. Welcome to the second episode of the Environmental Auditing series. In light of the trailer released in our last video, you might figure out the coming contents in this video. Yes, you've got it right. The scope, narrative references, terms and definitions, and principles of environmental auditing are about to meet you. No wonderings? It doesn't matter. Let me guide you deeper in environmental auditing. Wait, is your knowledge about environmental auditing still fresh? There are a few clues for you to take a review. ISO 19011-2003 is characterized by three interdependent standards comprising of ISO 14010-1996 for general information, ISO 14011-1996 for audit procedures, and ISO 40012-1996 for qualification criteria for environmental auditors. Sounds awfully the same. You only need to stay conscious of the number. 40,000 series merely provides guidelines for environmental management systems, whereas 19011 offers tutorial for both quality management systems auditing and environmental management system auditing. Will environmental auditing benefit? Well, first and foremost, it provides principles to our audit and management programs need to refer. Then, we can follow the procedures within the standards to conduct any relevant audit. It also provides clear guidance on how to distinguish the outstanding auditors from the pack of ordinary auditors. Finally, for the company and organization of interest, you are undoubtedly encouraged to adopt this standard to manage your audit program and environmental management systems. For auditors, now you guys may take a break first. Maybe your bosses and managers want to know more about quality and environmental management. Am I right? These are another long stories we don't cover, but we are willing to recommend two useful files. One is ISO 9001-2000 for quality management. Another is ISO 40050-2002 for environmental management. By far, we've mentioned all this so many times. However, what is the accurate definition of those baffling terms, such as audit, auditor, and competence in every sense? Based on the information of environmental auditing, audit means systematic, independent, and a documented process for obtaining audit evidence and evaluating it objectively to determine the extent to which the audit criteria are fulfilled, which the audit criteria indicate a set of policies, procedures, or requirements. Besides that, audit evidence shows the records, statements of a fact, or other information which are relevant to the audit criteria and verifiable. On the other hand, audit findings consist of results of the evaluation of the collected audit evidence against audit criteria. The major cast of environmental auditing also need to be clarified. Audit conclusion refers to the outcome of an audit provided by the audit team after consideration of the audit objectives and all audit findings. Audit client, of course, means the organization or person requesting an audit. For auditors, auditee indicates organization being audited, while the auditor means the person with the competence to conduct an audit. And then, all participation of auditors means the audit team. Other important characters include technical expert, a person who provides specific knowledge or expertise to the audit team. Audit program means the set of one or more audits planned for a specific time frame and directed towards a specific purpose. Audit plan is a description of the activities and arrangements for an audit. Audit scope indicates the extent of boundaries of an audit. Finally, what is the competence of an auditor? Competence demonstrates personal attributes and demonstrates the ability to apply knowledge and skills to audits. We can conduct auditing without following principles as much as we can draw a circle without using the compasses. Primarily, ethical conduct acts for the foundation of professionalism and trust, integrity, confidentiality, and discretion, which are essential to auditing. Then, in field presentation part, the audit findings, conclusions, and reports need to reflect the audit activities truthfully and accurately is an obligation of audit team. Regarding due professional care, auditors should apply diligence and judgment now and again during auditing according to the magnitude of the auditing task they perform. On top of that, rule of independence provides basis for the impartiality of the audit and objectivity of the audit conclusions. Because auditors are independent from the activity being audited and are thus free from the basis and conflict of interest. Last but not least, evidence-based approach makes auditors able to draw a reliable and reproducible audit conclusion in a systematic audit process, which ensures the evidence is verifiable and the report is testable. Now we come to the quiz time. We've prepared some simple questions for the contents. Would you like to say what you got? First, which of three ISOs make up the new ISO 19011? Yeah, you've got it right. Answer is C. The second one, which of following is true? Yeah, take a second to think about it. The answer is A. Then, what are the principles related to the auditors? Yeah, you are so smart. The answers are ethical conduct, well presentation, due professional care. Now we've moved on to the next one, which is also the last one. What are the principles related to audit? Is that simple? The answers are independence and evidence-based approach. Do you get it all right for all the questions? Thanks for following our second episode.
Now, I'm sure most of you clear about what is the difference between the environmental auditing under ISO 14000 series and ISO 19011 that we keep talking about. Yes, ISO 14000 series only provide guidelines for environmental management system auditing, while ISO 19011 covers both quality and environmental management system auditing. It provides guidance ranging from principles in auditors and applications for organizations to conduct internal and external audits. Not forgetting, the auditor should also be aware of the principles of auditing all the time. Now, next, we will have a mini game session. Again, please find the link in the chat box and enter to the quiz. Come on. Still waiting people to join the quiz. We have Hafizuddin, we have Nisa, we have Octavia. Thank you, Afika, for joining. Who else? Come on. For those newcomers, please click into the link. Kitan, please send again the link in the chat box. And we're having a quiz for the floor. So kindly click into the link, or you can just scan the code over here, or you can join through slido.com and click into the code 92099. Thank you. Come on, people. We are 40 now. Wow. What the Mandarin word. Ananya Miza Bindi Mustafa. Yes, I see you. Your name is big enough. Who else? Come on. Okay, we have 21. Come on, guys. We shall start in when the number hits to 30, shall we? Oh, people's coming. Hi, for those newcomers, we're having a quiz sessions for the floor. And yeah, kindly click into the links, or you can scan the code over here, or you can just join as slido.com. Okay, number is 26 now. Ding. Okay, now we shall still coming in. Okay. Let's go to the question. The first question. Which of the following is not the problems encountered with environmental auditing before ISO 19011? Come on, quickly. Is it low efficiency? Is it inconsistent format use, confusion over the auditing goal, or the lastly, unreasonable expenditure? We have around 28 people in the room, so come on, quickly. Which one do you think is the answer? It's not the problems that encountered by the auditors before the ISO 19011. Come on. The number is climbing up. 24, right to 28. Okay, that's it. Most of your things is unreasonable expenditure. Well, then the next one is an inconsistent format use. So which is the correct one? The answer is unreasonable expenditure. Let's see. Wow, coronavirus is hitting the board. Oh my God, who's the coronavirus? Let's see. And Dila follow up. Nathan, let's see whether coronavirus can survive the championships in the next round. Okay, which of the following is not the scope of ISO 19011? Yes, it's been mentioned in the Q&A session just now. So which one is not the scope of ISO 19011? We see who pay attention during the sharing. Come on. 14 people now. 23, coming in. 24. We shall hit to 26. Come on, 2 more people. What's the answer actually? 25. Okay, 26. What? Oh my goodness. It's the same percentage for ISO 14010 and ISO 14013. But which one is the correct one? It's ISO 14013, guys. All these three is included under the ISO 19011. So let's see who hit up the board. Oh, where's my coronavirus? It's got it wrong. So Nathan hit up the board and followed by Dila and Liana. Okay, let's continue. Record statements of facts or other information which are relevant to the audit criteria and verifiables refers to which one? Is it audit? Is it audit criteria? Audit evidence? Or is audit findings? Which one? Come on. Which one do you think? It's about record. It's about statement of facts. It's about information. Come on, 18 speakers. 20, 23, 24. Almost there, almost there. Okay, let's go. Which one's the correct one? Oh, the highest is audit evidence. Is it the right one? Yes, it is the right one. And see. Oops, it's Nathan's again and Shakira. Oh, the coronavirus back to the board. Wow, okay. Next, this shall be the last questions of the day for this session. Which are the following are the principles of auditing? A, ethical conduct, accuracy, scientific approach. Or B, ethical conduct, independence, scientific approach. Or C, ethical conduct, fair presentation, and due professional care. Which one is the answer? Come on, come on. 26 already. Oh, the first one got the highest. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I should go back to the speech. The correct answer is actually C. So sorry, it's actually ethical conduct, fair presentations, and due professional care. And then, Nathan, thank you. You got it all correct. And then for coronavirus, wow, we still have coronavirus on the board, huh? Oh, score 3/4. And then that's it for our mini game sessions. I hope you have enjoyed. Stop sharing. Okay, next we will continue with our third video. It is time for us to dig deeper into how the auditing work. So again, Eugene, could you share the videos? I hope all of you enjoyed the third video.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for chance introducing.
Welcome to our third episode. In this episode, I'd like to introduce how to manage an audit program or audit activity. In general, an audit program may include single or multiple audit activities, depending upon the size, nature, and complexity of the organization. The organization's top management should grant the authority for managing the audit program through establishing, implementing, monitoring, reviewing, and improving the audit program and identify all available resources. Let's go deeper for audit program objectives and audit program resources. For the objectives, it actually intends to find the management priorities and commercial intentions, identify management system requirements and statutory, regulatory, and contractual requirements, fulfill the need for suppliers evaluations and customs requirements, and finally detect needs for other interested parties and the risks for the organization per se. As to the audit program resources, it includes intangible and tangible resources such as financial resources, audit techniques, process to maintain auditor performance, and competent auditors and technicians. Oh yeah, finally, don't forget the traveling time and accommodation and other auditing needs. Then, what is the job scope of an audit program? With the presence of an audit program, we'd like to establish the objectives and procedures of an audit program, then ensure the implementation and appropriate maintenance of an audit program, and finally, monitor and review and improve that audit program. Let's go through together the procedures of an audit program. The first step should be planning and scheduling the audits. And second one is ensuring the competence of auditors and audit team leaders, followed by selecting appropriate audit teams and assign their roles and responsibilities, and then conducting audit follow-up, maintaining audit program records, and monitoring the performance and effectiveness of the audit program. Finally, report to the top management on the overall achievements of the audit program. The audit program implementation involves multiple phases. First, we initiate activities with communicating the audit program and coordinating and scheduling the ideal time for the audit activities. After that, we are establishing and maintaining the evaluation of the auditors and their continual professional development. On the second stage of audit program implementation, we provide the necessary resources and select audit teams, and then conduct the auditing activities and control auditing course. Finally, we will review, approve, and distribute our audit reports. Finally, for the audit follow-up option, is totally dependent on the organization's decisions. So, what is audit program records? The record related to individual audits consists of the audit plan, audit report, non-conformity report, corrective and preventive action report, and finally audit follow-up report. While the records related to audit personnel covering subjects involves in the auditor competence and performance evaluation, the audit team selection, and then finally the maintenance and improvement of competence. The final step of procedures is monitoring and reviewing the audit programs. Why we need to do that? Because we must ensure our objectives have been fulfilled and our money haven't been wasted. Therefore, we provide 3 different standards there to monitor and review our audit programs. Firstly, we will check whether our audit teams have the ability to implement the audit plan. Secondly, we will check whether our program is in conformity with our schedules. Thirdly, we will check the feedback from audit clients or auditees and auditors. All these standards lead to the corrective and preventive actions, and then resultant improvement of the audit program. Now let's take a break and make a review about the content we've covered. So, which factors determine the number of auditors that an audit program may need? Yes, the answer is D, or above. The second part of this video is about audit activities. In general, this course contains guidance on planning and conducting audit activities as part of an audit program. Likewise, we start these activities with plan in the first place. Firstly, we initiate the audit and conduct document review, and then prepare for on-site activities. Heading to the action stages, we conduct the on-site activities and prepare, approve, distribute our audit report. After that, we are about to complete the audit activities by checking the progress of our audit programs. Finally, we will conduct our audit by following these procedures above. As to the initiating stages, we still have a very specific procedure to follow. Firstly, we need to appoint the audit team leader to set up our own audit team. And then we are ready to define our audit objectives, scope, and criteria. Thirdly, determining the feasibility of the audit could be very helpful to proceed our audit activities. After that, we need to build up our own audit team to conduct our work. Finally, we are able to establish initial contact with the auditee. The second step of planning our audit activities is to conduct document review. The objective of this step is to determine the conformity of the system as documented with audit criteria. The review should take into account the size, nature, and the complexity of the organization and the objectives and the scope of the audit. For the final step of planning is of course to prepare the audit plan. Why is that important? Because the audit plan is a basis for the agreement among the audit client, audit team, and the auditee regarding the conduct of the audit. A comprehensive audit plan should cover the objectives, criteria, and other documents, audit scope, data and process conducted, expected time and duration, rules and responsibilities, allocation of resources. After that, assign to each team member responsibility for auditing specific processes, functions, sites, areas, or activities could be another important step to proceed this audit plan. The final step about preparation is to prepare the work documents. The audit team members should review the relevant information and prepare work documents. Our on-site audit activities shall begin with conducting the opening meetings and communication during the audit. Next, rules and responsibility of guides and observers will be clarified during our activity. After collecting and verifying information, we are able to generate audit findings and prepare the audit conclusions as well. Finally, we are able to conducting the closing meeting about our audit activities. Move on to our audit report stage. For this stage, we will see all the results of our audit in that report. The audit is complete when all activities described in the audit plan have been carried out, and when the approved audit report has been distributed. Please be noted that the audit report should be issued within the agreed time period, and the audit report should be dated, reviewed, and approved in accordance with the audit program procedures. Finally, the audit team members and all report recipients should respect and maintain the confidentiality of the report. The final element of audit activities is conducting audit follow-up. That will depend on our auditees. They should keep the audit client informed of the status of these actions. First, the completion of the effectiveness of corrective action should be verified, and then this should be notified as part of a subsequent audit. Next, the audit program may specify follow-up by members of the audit team, which adds value by using their expertise. Last one, in such cases, care should be taken to maintain independence in subsequent audit activities. This is the end end of this video, do you have a clear understanding about audit activities right now? Thanks for watching.
So there are altogether two main elements when we are managing audit programs, namely the audit program objective and audit program resources. The audit activities refers to the plan, do, check, act basis, starting from initiating the audit until the completion of audit. So now, do you still remember that the scope of environmental auditing is not solely about the audit program, but also include the individuals or the teams that conduct the audit program? So it will be told you, it will be presented in the coming videos. Please, Eugene.
Welcome to the last episode of Environmental Auditing series, and thanks for following us the whole season. So, the last content is about competence and the evaluation of auditors and our conclusion. How an individual program can be regarded as competence and how we're gonna evaluate those auditors. In general, competence and the reliance in the audit process depend on the competence of those conducting the audit. The graph below demonstrates the competence not only required for the specific knowledge about auditing, but also asks for the high profile from the auditors. Based on that, we see the environmental auditing program have such a high requirement about the auditors. Therefore, a competent auditor should be diplomatic, ethical, observant, versatile, self-reliant, open-minded, and tenacious. By having all those personal attributes, we may succeed in the competence of environmental auditing program. On top of that, both quality management system auditors and environmental management system auditors are required to have generic knowledge and skills, such as audit principles, procedures, and techniques, management system and reference documents, organizational situations, and applicable laws, regulations, and other requirements relevant to the discipline. Besides that, especially for the audit team leaders, they are required to have broader generic knowledge and skills, such as to plan the audit and make effective use of resources during the audit, and to represent the audit team in communications with the audit client and auditee, and to provide direction and guidance to auditors in training, and to lead the team to reach the audit conclusions, and finally, to prevent and resolve conflicts between team member and clients. Particularly, quality management system auditors are required to have specific knowledge and skills, such as quality-related methods and techniques, and process and products, including services. While the environmental management system auditors are required to have specific knowledge and skills in environmental management methods and techniques field and environmental science and technology field. The former includes the environmental technology, environmental management principles and applications, and environmental management tools. The latter, environmental science and technology, consists of the impact of human activities, interaction of ecosystems, and environmental media, management of natural resources, and finally, general methods of environmental protections. For a better understanding about the interaction of the auditee's activities, products, services, and operations with the environment, knowledge and skills in the technical and environmental aspects of operations should cover the sector-specific terminology, the environmental aspects and impacts, the methods for evaluating the significance of environmental aspects, critical characteristics of operational processes, products, and services, monitoring and management techniques, and finally, the technologies for the prevention of pollution. The 6 types of knowledge help auditors comprehend the auditor's operations better. Furthermore, a competent auditor should have the corresponding education, work experience, auditor training, and audit experience. They should firstly complete an education sufficient to acquire the knowledge and skills. Second, have work experience that contributes to the development of the knowledge and skills. Thirdly, complete auditor training that contributes to the development of the knowledge and skills. In addition, an audit team leader should have acquired additional audit experience to develop the extra knowledge and skills. Auditors in the second discipline who audit both quality and environmental management systems should have the training and work experience needed to acquire the knowledge and skills for the second discipline, and they should have conducted audit covering the management system in the second discipline under the direction and the guidance of an audit who is competent as an audit team leader in the second discipline. By the way, an audit team leader of one discipline should meet the above recommendations to become an audit team leader in the second discipline. Organizations should establish the levels of education, work experience, auditor training, and audit experience an audit needs to gain the knowledge and skills appropriate to the audit program by applying step 1 and 2, which will be presented in this episode later. So the auditor evaluation in general, the evaluation of auditors and audit team leaders should be planned, implemented, and recorded in accordance with audit program procedures to provide an outcome that is objective, consistent, fair, and reliable. The evaluation process should identify training and other skill enhancement needs. The evaluation of auditors per se occurs at the following different stages. The initial evaluation of persons who wish to become auditors, and the evaluation of the auditors as part of the auditing selection process, and lastly, the continual evaluation of auditor performance to identify needs for maintenance and improvement of knowledge and skills. For the continual professional development, in summary, it's about the maintenance and the improvement of knowledge, skills, and personal attributes. In this development process, auditors should demonstrate their continual professional development. Activities should take into account the changes in the needs and the individual and the organization, the practice of auditing standards, and other requirements. Additionally, for retaining the auditing ability, an audit should maintain and demonstrate their auditing ability through regular participation in audits quality or environmental management systems. For the auditor evaluation process, if you still remember, we mentioned this process minutes ago. So in this process, firstly, we need to identify personal aptitude, the knowledge and skills to meet the needs of the audit program. Secondly, set the evaluation criteria. Thirdly, select the appropriate evaluation method. And finally, conduct the evaluation. We have several different evaluation methods with their objectives and examples respectively. However, it seems so boring to listen to, so if you are really interested in these evaluation methods, we advise you to press the pause button and take a look about it. In the conclusion, the previous 6 different ISO standards have been compressed and simplified to the latest one, ISO 9011-2011. It's worth of noting that the ISO 9011 only provides a guidance, but it depends on the organization's way of applying their own audit requirement which may match with their own operations too. This standard is very useful as it helps by monitoring the conformity with requirements such as product specifications or laws and regulations. Here coming to our Q&A section. So, what is environmental management method and techniques? So, the answer is B, environmental terminology. Did you get it right? By the end of the environmental auditing series, we would like to thank you for watching all the episodes, and we so appreciate having you alongside this series. We are looking forward to seeing you again in the future.
Now, that's all the 4 videos from our team. So let me make you a quick recap on the video 4. Convenience and reliance of an audit program is dependent on the competence of those who conduct the audit. A qualified auditor should meet the requirements in terms of education, work experience, auditor training, audit experience, as well as their personal attributes. So it has been an intense day for all of you to grab all the inputs from our videos just now. So now you'll be given 5 minutes. It's 11:03 now. So we shall come back at 11:08 a.m. 11:08. Would like to ask all of you to answer the feedback form that we have sent in the chat box later on. E-certificates will send to your email upon your submissions to the feedback form. And stay with us as we will proceed with the sharing of life cycle assessment of products later on. So see you later.
Welcome back, everyone. Here comes our life cycle assessment video. The first video is about hybrid car. As we know, hybrid car will more or less cause impact to environment. Nevertheless, it will be more environmentally friendly as compared to conventional internal combustion vehicle. Thus, if the condition allowed, it's highly encouraged to purchase a hybrid car in the standpoint of environment. So let's have a look in the videos.
Okay. Greeting everyone. In this video, I am going to present to you and several impact assessment of hybrid cars. Worldwide, there are about 17 million hybrid cars in use. Based on the data in 2018, there are about 73,000 units of hybrid cars sold in Norway, 361,000 units in the United States of America, and a higher 1,053,000 units sold in China. Even though the sales of hybrid cars are not as much as that of the internal combustion vehicles, but it is spiking up with the growing of environmental awareness among global communities. There are much more advantages to into a hybrid car. For example, hybrid car is fuel efficient as compared to ICE. Hybrid car recorded an average mileage of 58.7 miles per gallon, which is much higher than 26.7 miles per gallon recorded for ICE. Next, hybrid car releases less carbon footprint and it emits 51.6 pounds of carbon dioxide for every 100 miles. This number is much lower than that of the ICE, which emits 74.9 pounds of carbon dioxide for every 100 miles. Furthermore, it is cost-effective in terms of maintenance expenses and fuel, as hybrid cars will save up their own an average of $401 and $2,849 respectively. Up to now, no matter how many types of hybrid car are there, the answer is three, namely Hybrid electric vehicles, HEV, with both gasoline engine and electric motor work at the same time. Next, plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, PHEV, which is slightly different from HEV, which is plug-in with gasoline engine for battery runtime. And lastly, battery electric vehicle, BEV, which only includes electric motors to power the car. Similarly, the fuel used for each of the hybrid cars will be different as well. HEV will only use gasoline and battery. PHEV will use all three types of fuel, which are gasoline, battery, plug chargers. While for the EV, it only use battery and plug chargers, only powered by electricity. From a perspective of life cycle assessment, we shall cover all the stages from extraction of raw material or recyclable material, design and production, packaging and distribution, use and maintenance, and lastly, disposal or recycling if possible. So, beginning from the extractions of raw materials, the main elements to form an electric vehicle battery are lithium, cobalt, manganese, nickel, graphite, copper, etc. In general, extractions of raw material for manufacturing of electric vehicle batteries will generate lower environmental contribution potential than ICE. Even electric vehicle uses up more metal resources than ICE, the weightage for fossil fuel consumption is higher for ICE. Other than that, electric vehicle will lead to higher human toxicity potential due to its intensive use of raw material, which will eventually increase the disposal of non-filling containing moving forward, design and production phase. This will be the hotspot in the standpoint of life cycle assessment, which is related to high environmental impact. The core component of an electric vehicle is a battery pack, which consists of cooling system, battery cell, packaging, and battery management system. Something quickly to what we know about an electric vehicle. Manufacturing of electric vehicles will actually impose 44% higher impact on human toxicity potential, and this is mainly due to its electric powertrain. Moreover, electric car production contributes to 13% higher in greenhouse gas emissions than that of the ICE, which account for around 3/4 of the total emissions. Last but not least, electric vehicle production will consume more energy than that of the internal combustion engine vehicle. Next, packaging and distribution phase of the car, where the car transports from the manufacturer to the final user. However, since the type of transporting the components to the production and dismantling site is negligible, there are not much study focused on this. However, we can get to know about which companies sell the most hybrid car at global scale. To name a few, Toyota Prius Hybrid, Toyota Camry Hybrid, Toyota Highlander Hybrid, Honda Civic Hybrid, Ford Escape and Mercury Mariner Hybrid, Lexus RX 400h, and so on. Use and maintenance phase. In this phase, we focus more on the fuel consumption, emissions, and energy sources of the hybrid cars. What are the differences between hybrid cars and ICE? Above this, hybrid cars are powered by both electric and gasoline, or ICE are solely dependent on gasoline. For combined city and highway usage, hybrid cars can go 65 miles per gallon, while ICE can only go 38 miles per gallon. Consequently, hybrid cars will probably cost substantial fuel than ICE. Electric vehicle emissions are accounted for the use of vehicles itself, also called direct emissions, together with indirect emissions from production materials. 64% of total primary energy of electric eventually comes from nuclear energy, like coal and natural gas. Also, hybrids might consume 30 to 50% less fuel than ICEV due to its high electric efficiency rate. Meanwhile, hybrid cars need to be charged less frequent than ICEV, with the ratio 3.5 times to 1. Now, come to the last phase, which is the disposal phase. Out of 1 kilogram of lithium iron battery, a waste happens to chemicals are recyclable back to the manufacturing phase, which makes up 70 to 100%.
And the second video is talk about the describe the life cycle of tea in 5 stages. Explain how the tea from raw materials to become the final products in the market step by step, and how it forms the cycle of life. So let's have a look on the life cycle of tea.
And I will explain them one by one to you. As you can see, the 5 stage contains the raw material acquisitions, manufacturing, distribution, use by the consumer, and the end of the life. Okay, about the first stage, the raw material acquisitions. There are many types of the tea, such as black tea, green tea, white tea, and oolong tea. So there's things. Tea plantation will also be located in a different geographical location according to the suitable growth environment of the different teas, except for the rarity of the production process. The community is in different tea plantation areas. Paper raw materials are obtained by picking tea leaves and screening. Farmers used to pay attention to selecting the good varieties, good cultivation management, and mastering the timing with tea picking in different seasons. So basically, tea is made by picking the buds and new leaves of the tea tree as the raw materials and going through a series of the production process. We usually call it tea harvesting. The second stage of the life cycle of the tea is called manufacturing. After tea harvesting, the tea must first put in the air to lose part of the moisture inside. This process is called redoing. The disappearances of the water must evaporate or leave in the leaf edges or stem of the fruit leaf veins. Every part of the cell must leave the part of the water to produce the water fermentation. And the second step is called tea perfections. First tea will be fried in the pot, and the party is usually more fragrant and smells sweet. By the way, most of the tea on the market are roasted. The tea farmer will use the steam to steam the green tea. The steaming color is good looking, and it is easy to retain the original cell fiber of the plant. And the third production process is boiling, which is the processing of the shaping the shape of the tea by manual or machine. And the first step is called drying. The last step is to completely evaporate the water for the tea by baking, hand drying, or around the shape to give the full play to the tea fragrance. Okay, let's talk about the first stage of the life cycle of the tea, which is called the distribution. After those tea experience the production process, we will start the distribution part, which is more related to the shipping and product packaging by the different companies. After processing in the production process, the tea will be exported to important countries with the minimal processing and then blended by the tea company. Those companies produce a different type of ready-to-use teas for the customer all around the world. After that, make sure the tea leaves are then checked for the contamination in the alcohol contaminant before being exported to the major foreign markets such as Russia, Morocco, Japan, and Britain. And the first stage of the life cycle of the tea is the use. After the packaging process and the shipping by the companies, various kinds of the tea will appear in the market, such as the tea bag, canned tea, ground tea, and instant tea drinks. Consumers in different countries can enjoy the different types of tea producers from all over the world, and the portability of the product and the packaging. Consumers can feel the change bring by the consuming tea products to the body in daily life. The final stage of the life cycle of the tea will be the end of the life. The tea leaves, after use by the consumer, will still contain the nutrients, help the development and reproduction of the flower and plants. The bigger tea leaves still have the nutrients such as inorganic salts and carbohydrates. They are piled up in the flower bed or pot to help the development and reproduction of the flowers and plants in the plantation. In addition, tea leaves can absorb the smell in the room. Tea leaves contains the tannins, which will work to kill the bacteria and help to eliminate the smell in the room. Overall, residual tea product can be recycled back to the tea plantation as the nutrition fertilizer. It is more sustainable development and can reduce the waste impact on the environment. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I hope you can get some knowledge about the life cycle of tea from this video.
And here comes the third video. It's about the include the entire life stage of an ordinary surgical face mask from the raw material including crude oil, iron, oil, and rubber to the end of life stage making of 3 ways of disposal. The greenhouse gases emission is standing along with entire processes, especially distribution and manufacturing. So here comes the next video.
Are you right now outside watching this video? Don't forget wearing your face mask. That is a very serious matter as the face mask becomes an indispensable personal necessity. However, if you ever reckoned the life cycle of a face mask, don't worry, you'll find the journey of the most used 3-layer surgical mask. Before we start, preliminary introduction of life cycle is important for us to proceed with this video. Human's life cycle could be very straightforward, from cradle to grave, while when we apply life cycle to environmental area, that means a lot. Firstly, integrated thinking about the sequence of life stages that a product undergoes from raw material to the end with disposal or reproduction. Then, all the energy and the resource use and the emission as well will be listed out and calculated accurately. Finally, holistic life cycle thinking can help us attain sustainable goals for preserving our environment. Back to our topic. So, what are these materials made from? A simple anatomy shows the structure, non-woven fabric, medium filter, and the innermost composite fiber. As for the first two layers, the unwoven fiber and the meltdown filter, they come from the same source, polypropylene, which are one type of plastic materials extracted from crude oil. Skin-friendly fiber, on the other hand, are made from cotton textile. Don't leave another little gadget alone. Little bar used from nose clip derives from the iron ore, while the rubber sharp adhesives come from the rubber. Then, how actually face mask is made from these materials? Firstly, PP is melted under high temperature and solidified into nanometers level fabric. Then, the cotton is proceeded and transformed into a row of coats when the main procedures have finished. Nose clip and the rubber strap are added into it before final compression of three layers of materials. Finally, after sterilization, mature product comes to package waiting for distribution. During manufacture, main emission is of GHG emission caused by electricity use. Distribution phase could be very simple, directly from manufacturer to retailer. The whole process could be divided into a few stages. After packaging, cargo will be shipped to the corresponding retailers with order of masks. GHG emission will be generated by the fuel used on transportation. When the shop gets ready, customers come by and pick up face masks by themselves or by logistics. Right now, you may have obtained your own face mask, yet it was not in the right way of wearing face masks given the current ongoing coronavirus outbreak around the world. In summary, we have seen three different ways of wearing face masks in general: magically, wildly, and properly. If you are not going to do a magic show or wild game, please choose to wear it properly for your own health consideration. Finally, where will the face mask be going after usage? That's a very good question. You could end up with three different ways as usual: the standard disposal, the actual disposal, and the conditionally recycling. The standard disposal applies for incineration, which is the most realistic way to get rid of mounting weight of face masks. However, we need to take into consideration the air pollution and bottom ash caused by this process. Next, the actual disposal is leading to solid waste pollution in the right, left, and center. We should avoid any actual disposal as possible as we can. Finally, the conditionally recycling not only stay away from the pollution of the formers, but also reduce the resource use by making use of advanced technology. This is the end of this video. I really wish you could learn something useful for for watching.
So here comes the first video. It's about the life cycle assessment of laptop. Later you talk about the discuss from the material extraction to the life. Some information about this product is also covered in the beginning part. In addition, the environmental impact brought by the laptop and the related mitigation action also emphasized in the end of this video.
Hi everybody, thanks for watching my video. In this video, we will discuss about the life cycle assessment of laptop. The mass production and extensive usage of personal computers such as desktop and laptop contribute to global warming. Therefore, there is a need to understand the story behind. Firstly, I will tell you some basic product information about the laptop. The first portable computer was the IBM 5100, released in September in the year 1975, which was much lighter and more portable than any other computer today. However, laptops nowadays become a very common thing in our daily life. There were over 2 billion computers in the world, which including servers, desktops, and laptops. Therefore, the impact brought by the laptop also becoming very significant. Currently, there are some common laptop brands such as Apple, HD, Dell, Acer, and Lenovo. There is a survey told us most of the people preferring to use Apple. Yet, according to the percentage of top 100 market shares, the highest will be Lenovo. Do you know what are the most preferred characteristics by the users about the laptop? There are 500 GB hard disk, 4 GB RAM, 2 GB graphic card, and 15-inch screen size. These are the laptop user flavors. But for every laptop, the maximum energy output only ranges from 50 to 100 watts per hour. Also, all the laptops never share similar lifespan, which is typically between 3 to 4 years. This means even with a very fancy laptop, after 3 to 4 years, you might still need to buy a new one. According to the study, 92% of unwanted laptops they were ended up in landfill. This means only 8% of laptops get recycled. According to another study, recycle 1 billion of laptops actually can save the energy equivalent to the electricity used by more than 3,657 US homes. Next, we will enter life cycle assessment of laptop. Firstly, extraction of raw material to manufacture a laptop. In a laptop, 50% is built from the steel and aluminium. 26% is made up from ABS pieces, and 12% is metal. Here, referring to the copper and compound. 9% of plastic, 2.90% of LED glass, and 0.07% of silicone plastic. When a laptop is produced, it uses a relatively small amount of several natural resources. Some of these are in quite plentiful supply, but all of them are finite. When the skill of global manufacturing is considered, this small amount of minerals and metals suddenly is very significant indeed. Next, manufacture. The main board of a laptop computer includes a printed circuit board assembly (PCB) and other non-electrical parts such as receiver, condensers, and connectors. Manufacturing these electric part within the main box is the predominant contributor to global warming during the pre-manufacture stage. This is because it is during this time frame that most of the global greenhouse gases are emitted. Substantial quantities of air pollution, wastewater, and solid waste are emitted during this phase. But laptop manufacturing stage is a rather simple process. Therefore, no major environmental impact is always at this stage. The laptop manufacturing involves assembly and packaging. Then, once a laptop is completed at the factory, they will sent to the hotel or repair shop, and then they will maybe sent to some company or personal use. All of these are require the energy and fuel for the transferring in the user space. According to the research, the laptops are used for a mean 4.8 hours per day. When entered to the end of life phase, most of the laptops were sent to the landfill. Actually, from glass to metal to plastic to battery, most of these materials that make up the laptop can be recycled or used to create new products with the same property. And next, I will explain about the impact. Firstly, making a laptop requires several environmental and friendly reasons. Most notably, rare earth metals. The laptops also contain potentially dangerous radiation in the battery, which can emit toxic dioxin if burnt. During the manufacture, the energy used and carbon dioxide equivalent emissions in the pre-manufacturing step were found to be 1,117.72 mJ. This is equivalent to a total emission of 71.15 kg of carbon dioxide equivalent of GHG. When we combine the impact from the material extraction, production, manufacturing, and distribution of a laptop computer, we are expected to consume about 1,634 mJ of energy, emit approximately 19.21 kg of carbon dioxide equivalent. This data is obtained from the European Commission. The impacts during the user phase is hard to identify. This is because the unit is different from individual. However, you need to know there are 0.05 kilos of carbon per hour of use in the disposal phase. The toxic materials within the laptop, such as the lead, mercury, and other toxic contaminants, the groundwater near the lenses, entering the environment. Overall, a laptop that contains 97.34 kWh per year experiences enhanced GHG emissions of 38.94 kg of carbon dioxide equivalents. I hope you can understand the impacts from the laptop. There is still some mitigation action that we can do. Firstly, turning off the laptop when not in use. Secondly, setting up power management software to minimize the energy use. This tool also can be done by educating consumers to understand and use power management in a proper way. And then, implementing the installation of multi-core processors also can reduce the energy consumption of laptop. A multi-core processor can perform several tasks simultaneously instead of performing one task after the other. Hence, the operating time for the laptop will be lower, plus causing it to consume less energy. And the last one, about the laptop recycling, which is you can send your unwanted laptop back to the laptop manufacturer. That's all from my presentation. I hope you enjoy my video. Please watch this video till the end. Thank you.
Well, after we have seen so much video, so let us have 5 minutes break. We will be here to see you guys soon. Okay, time's up. We're gonna continue our travel of knowing the life cycle assessment. The next video is about how cocoa is made and how popular it is around the world. Let's make a look at whole process of cocoa, from production to final packaging and discarding. So let's have a look at this video.
Hi everyone. Today I am going to introduce the life cycle of cocoa. In this video, we will know what is cocoa, the origin of cocoa, the life cycle stage of cocoa, and the impact of the life cycle of cocoa. Let's go to part 1. Let me tell you what is cocoa. The cocoa bean or simple cocoa is a dried and fermented seed of Theobroma cacao from which cocoa solids and cocoa butter can be extracted. Apart from that, do you know what is the use of cocoa beans? The cocoa bean is the basis of chocolate and Mesoamerican foods including tejate, an indigenous Mexican drink that also includes maize. The 3 main varieties of cocoa plants are Festero, Criollo, and Trinitario. What's more, if you taste cocoa before, will you care about the origin of the cocoa? The cacao tree is native to the Amazon basin. It was domesticated by the Olmecs Mexicans, as far back as Olmeca civilization in spiritual ceremonies. And I want to tell you some history that you do not know. In 1905, Cadbury's company's main products were still coffee and tea, but 9 years later, the company's milk chocolate became a household name, and it became the #1 chocolate product in the UK. Had it not been for the sudden outbreak of war, their milk chocolate would have sold better. In 1939, when Britain declared war on the Nazis and went into war material control, Cadbury was forced to stop making milk chocolate and instead produce chocolate rations for its soldiers. But do you ever heard about life cycle assessment? This is a tool that used to measure a product's impact on the environment. Basically, it talks about a product's whole life, which is from a candle to a grave. In this video, the life cycle assessment of cocoa production has 5 stages, which include raw material production, manufacturing, transportation, consumption, and disposal. The raw material production process will need to use fossil fuels, minerals, water, farming, seeding, and harvesting. The second step is manufacturing. The fermentation needs cocoa beans covered with boxes for 4 to 6 days. This fermentation process removes the moisture and flesh from beans, and then they go through the fermentation. The workers will separate them out in the sun until the beans are completely dry. In factories, cocoa beans are sent to a series of screening processes, leaving their bean shell. The factory will bake the nibs of cocoa to add flavor, and more than 50% of the nibs are fat or cocoa butter. After all series of refining, heating, and the refining, cooling process, the chocolate is done. By this time the processing is complete, and the next step is transportation. With the development of globalization, there are more and more private cars which caused environmental pollution. In summer, the transportation of chocolate requires trucks with air conditioning. It also increases carbon emissions. Then they disturb the chocolate to individuals or businesses for sale. What coming next is consumption. Cocoa was introduced to Europe by the Spanish in the 16th century, when the dried cocoa powder was mixed with sugar water, which opens the cocoa's boom. And here comes a lot of brands of chocolate like Adum, Rocher, Meiji, Le Conte, and etc. Besides, I want to talk about cocoa production. In 2017, the world production of cocoa beans was 5.2 million tons, led by the Ivory Coast with 38% of the total. The final step is disposal. There has a new show that about 45% of people would not recycle the package of chocolate, they will just throw it away. Another situation is according to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. About a third of the food produced each year never ends up on people's tables, wasting 1.3 billion tons of food. Much of the food wasted in poor countries is wasted because it is improperly stored as a meal for pests or rots on potholed roads and in long haulage. In rich countries, the picture is different. Some foods are left unbought on supermarket shelves, while others are bought and then put back out of date. However, the impact on cocoa's LCA shows that it will bring deforestation. Cocoa has been a driver of deforestation, with cocoa grown in plantations or agroforestry systems replacing the original forest ecosystems in many regions. Cocoa production makes the largest contribution to the environmental impacts of eutrophication, ozone layer depletion, freshwater aquatic ecotoxicity, human toxicity, and terrestrial ecotoxicity, with average contributions greater than 96%. At the industrial processing stage, the use of natural gas instead of diesel oil for roasters and boilers is recommended due to its relatively low emissions. And the conversion of semi-deciduous forests to cocoa plantations resulted in plant diversity and species richness loss due to the disappearance of a huge number of native species. While earthworm abundance and species richness increased due to the appearance of species adapted to degraded lands, so it is all about cocoa's production process. If you want to know more interesting things that you do not know, please subscribe to us.
Wow, thank you for the fantastic sharings of the cocoa, the life cycles assessments of cocoa. The next video basically talk about the life cycles of cake's product and analyze the energy usage and resource consumption used in each stage of its life cycle. Please watch the video.
Because of the lack of environmental awareness, the good taste of cake making one of the most popular desserts. This video explains the life cycle of cake. There are 5 basic raw materials of cake. The first raw material is eggs. Eggs come from chickens. The process of letting chickens lay eggs requires water, energy, and fodder. And then it becomes the one of raw material of cake products. The second basic raw material of cake is vegetable oil. By squeezing sunflower seeds, a kind of vegetable oil with golden color, clear, and aromatic can be obtained. And the process of cultivating sunflowers needs water, energy, land, and fertilizers. Then it becomes the vegetable oil that we use in the cake. The third one is milk. As we all know, milk comes from cows. It's a process of raising cows and making them milk. Need water, energy, and fodder. Then the milk produced by the cow becomes an important raw material in making cakes. The fourth important raw material is flour. During the wheat ripening season, farmers carefully select the mature wheat, then remove impurities and grind it to turn the wheat into flour. In this whole process, need water, energy, land, and fertilizers. its pellets is eaten. It is called sugar cane. Sugarcane juice is obtained by squeezing sugarcane and then further processed to extract white sugar or brown sugar. From planting sugarcane and obtain sugar from sugarcane need water, energy, and fertilizers. The addition of sugar is an important reason why people love cakes. The second part of cake's life cycle is manufacturing. The primary processing of making cake normally are mixing, baking, and cooling. And for additional products you can process normally are creaming, fruit cutting, and freezing. And for this step, the things consumed normally are water and energy. The third part of cake's life cycle is distribution and transportation. The finished cake products are usually packed in plastic bags or boxes, then distributed to cake shops or shopping malls for sale. Cakes are distributed to various cake shops or shopping malls and need to be transported by means of transportation, such as trucks, vans, or some transportation else. In this process of transportation, energy and fuel are consumed. The fourth part of cake's life cycle is use. The way we use cake products is to eat directly. This step does not consume others despite your strength. But after eating, energy and water are needed to clean the dishes. The last part of cake's life cycle is end of life. Because of the lack of environmental awareness, landfill is the most common way to dispose of waste. Therefore, the end of life of most cake products is also landfill. But in fact, composting is a good way to recycle cake products. It can not only reduce the cost of waste recycling, and also reduce the harmful effects of organic waste in landfills. Thanks for watching this video, and hope you can learn some from this video.
Well, that's a life cycle assessment of cake. Now you know what will happen to the environment and what the impact from when you're eating the cake. So now we are coming to the next product, which most of you have, I guess every one of you have used that, which is a plastic bottle. The next video is a life cycle assessment of plastic bottle, which talk about the environmental or social impacts of a plastic bottle from the extractions of its raw material, transportation, manufacturing, and lastly comes the end of its life. Now let's see the videos from Octavia's on life cycle assessment of plastic bottles.
Hi everyone, my name is Octavia Tiong Xiao Fan. Today I want to present about life cycle assessment of plastic bottle. That includes the term and definition of plastic bottle and also normative references. Definition of life cycle of plastic bottle is the average American consumes 167 bottles of water each year. There are many steps involved in making a bottle of water, and throughout the process, many natural resources are used. Make a note of how many times the bottle is transported throughout the process, and remember that transportation also uses gasoline and releases a lot of carbon dioxide into the air, which contribute to air pollution. You can see the picture about life cycle of plastic bottle. Step 1. Raw material. rearing of oil. The oil is extracted from the earth. First, oil is obtained from the groundwater uses more than 70 million barrels of oil annually, enough to fuel 1.3 million cars for a full year, but that not including the fuel used for transportation. Step 2. Manufacturing. Then, the oil is cleaned at the refinery. The energy we waste using plastic water bottles would be enough to power 190,000 homes. Next step is processing. The plastic pellets are produced from the oil. You can see the picture about the plastic pellet. Step 4. Melting of plastic bottle. The pellets are melted together to create the final formation of the plastic bottle. Did you know that America used about 50 billion plastic water bottles last year? Step 5. The boiling process occurs. The bottles are brought to the boiling plant where they are filled with water. Next step is transportation. Imported water uses about 2.5 to 4 times more energy than bottled water produced locally. Step 7 is used by consumers. The bottles are ready for you, so they are transported to the store, and then consumers buy plastic water bottle. Next step is recycling. Around 27% of PET plastic bottle will be recycled, so they can be made into new products. The US recycling rate is only 23%. That means 38 billion plastic water bottles are wasted each year. The last step is out of landfill. From the landfill, plastic bottles make their way into our ocean. Majority will end up in the environment, or landfill will take up to 1,000 years to start to break down. Plastic material make up 90 until 95% of marine debris. If the plastic breaks down, the marine life will mistake it as a food and eat it. Did you know over 100,000 marine mammals and 1 million seabirds die each year from ingesting or becoming entangled in plastic? We must help to stop the use of plastic bottles and make reusable. This is all about references life cycle of plastic bottles. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you again.
Hi, now you see how damages of using a plastic bottles to our environment. So yeah, it's lessons and takeaways from for all of you to not use a single-use plastic bottles anymore. And now we will go to the last video of the day. It's on the life cycle assessment of organic food. I'm not sure how many of you is having organic food, or you aware that whether the food that comes to your table is an organic food. So this video will include the organic farming as the first stage, organic food production, organic food processing and packaging and distributions, and organic food on retail, and lastly, end of life or disposal stage of organic food. So we hope you enjoy the video by Nathan. Let's see.
Hi everyone, my name is Li Haolin. I'm glad to be here with you today. I'm going to talk about the life cycle of organic food. Now, let's get started. As you see, I'm going to present about the 5 main stages for organic food life cycle. The first one is organic farming. The second one is organic food production. The third one is about organic food processing, packaging, and distribution. Next one is organic food on retail. The last one is disposal and recycling. Okay, let's get started to next page. To the beginning is organic farming as the first stage of organic food life cycle. As you know, modern organic agriculture developed in response to environmental hazards caused using chemical pesticides and synthetic fertilizers in traditional agriculture. It has many ecological benefits. At the same time, the farmers must be certified for their produce and products to be labeled as organic. So, organic food are grown without synthetic chemicals such as pesticides and fertilizers and without genetically modified ingredients. The second stage is about organic food production. First of all, the production comes from organic farms. This farm produce the organic food, such as fruits, vegetables, and meat, and so on. Besides that, there are 3 different producers. The small organic producers is no distribution middleman are used, and their production supply to some restaurants, specialties retailers, or small grocery stores. For the middle-sized producer, some middle-sized producers are now collaborating to develop their own products, working with complementary companies. Most middle-sized producers offer a fixed storefront in the farm market, including consignment or retail products. For the large producers are characterized by organic cash crops, and most of organic large producer export organic products such as most dairy farms. The third stage life cycle of organic food is processing, packaging, and distribution. First of all, for food processing, processed food must be processed in certified facilities, and operators of organic products must also be certified. For the food packaging is one of the most common parts used to preserve food, but organic products have special marks or labels on their packaging. For the food distribution is a process in which a general population is supplied with food, each involving storage, transport, and handling, where food is often exposed to varying temperature. This slide shows the organic food on retails. Organic foods are certified as organic by local authorities or world organizations. Organic products are usually sold in specialist stores or can be ordered online. Therefore, when you buy the organic food, there are few things to be considered, which is buying in season. Compare the price. Organic doesn't always mean healthy. Buy directly and prioritized to choose your food. The last stage of organic food life cycle is disposal and recycling. As a result of organic food waste, most of this organic food waste can be converted into fertilizer for the development of organic agriculture. A small portion will disposed in landfill.
Wow, from the videos from Lee Hao-min on life cycle assessment of organic food. Before we end the sessions for today, we have prepared a mini games again for everyone. Now, I would like to welcome Riley to conduct the mini game sessions. Yeah, you can click on the links that we put in the chat box, or Riley, you can share the screen now to let us enter to your quiz. Sorry, Riley, you have muted.
Okay, sorry, I forgot it. Okay. Hi guys, it's the mini game time. As you can see on the left corner, there's the QR code. You can scan it by your phone to enter the Slido website to participate in the game. You also can click the link in the chat box provided by the Kitong to open the website. Hey guys, let's join the quiz. Do we have more participants? Guys, let's join and let's click the link or scan the QR code to join the mini game. Okay, I think that's all. So let's move to the game, okay? The first questions. Okay, which stage does not belong to the product life cycle? Hey guys, let's get the correct answers. I will give you guys like about 20 seconds. Okay, time's up. So let's see. Wow, about like 63% of the people who choose the consumption option, huh? Only 26% percent of the persons choose to use. Okay, let's see which one is the correct answer. All right, seems like most of the people get the correct answer, huh? So let's see the leaderboard. Who get the correct answer? Oh, coronavirus is the first. He just spent 6 seconds. And the next is Kila, Micha, to destroy, and beauty. All right, let's move to the next questions. Where was the environmental auditing first began? 1970, 1980, 1985, or 1995? I will give you guys 30 seconds. All right, time's up. Let's see the result. Oh, about 38% choose the 1980, 29% choose the 1970, and 24% choose the 1955. Okay, let's see who get the correct answer. Okay, the correct answer, it should be 1970. Okay, let's see the leaderboard. Now the first one is the killer, and the second is Eddie, and the third is the coronavirus. Okay, move to the next questions. Which one is the role of the environmental auditing? 20 seconds, guys. All right, let's see the code. Let's see the result. Time's up. Oh, most of the people they choose the all above. Only 14% choose the second option. Okay, let's see which one is the correct answer. All right, it's the all above. And see the leaderboard. It's killer. Killer is the top one again. And the coronavirus become the second. And the yes is the third. Let's see the next question. Why we need the audit program monitoring? 30 seconds, guys. All right, time's up. Let's see the result. Wow, about again, like almost like 43% people choose the all above. Okay, let's see which one is the correct answer. Second option is the correct answer. Only 29% of the people choose the correct answer. Let's see the leaderboard. Coronavirus become the first one again. Okay, let's see move to the next question, the last one question, okay? Environmental auditing is essentially there are 3 options. Guys, 20 seconds. This is the easy one. But also, it makes you confused. Okay, time's up. let's see the result. Oh, seems like most of the people they choose the environmental tool. Some people they choose the environmental management. Okay, let's see the correct answer. Wow, seems like most of the people know the answer already. Okay. Yeah, the correct answer is the environmental tool. Okay, let's see the leaderboard. Coronavirus still the top one. Micha is the second, and the third is the killer. And the next is the Apollo, and the five is the la 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 la. Okay, I think that's all for the mini game. And the next, I will let the chair to take over the next sections.
Well, thank you, Riley. That's all for our today's e-conference. Well, you see, we have 2 sessions for mini games, and then coronavirus beats all of you. How could this happen, huh? Okay, now we have come to the end of our conference. I would like to ask a favor from all of you to open your cameras for photography sessions. You will still have 5 seconds time to, if you are having put on your tutu, you can put it on, put some lipstick, you can do so. Just open your webcam so we can have a photography session now. Come on, guys. And then I would like to ask Kitom, our techie guy, to stand by and take a Snapchat for all of us. Come on, come on. Are you ready? Kitom, are you ready? Hi, Kitom. Oh my God, where are our techie guys?
Jap.
Oh. You have to make the countdown 1, 2, 3, so you can smile at the screen. Kitom, have you?
Okay, I'm still waiting some of the friends to open their game.
Okay, in count of 5, then if not, they haven't opened their camera, you just take a screenshot, yeah?
Okay.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Okay, done.
Is everyone in the picture?
I guess so.
Will you take more?
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Okay. So that's all from our team. I'm hereby represent my team to apologize in advance if we have any wrongdoing or harsh words to you throughout the conference, and we hope you have a nice day. Thank you and bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, thank you. Meanwhile, Eugene, can you play some music?